we do it. Mm-mm-mm.
Hey, we
And this
live.
is how we do it. Uh, uh, uh. And this is how we do it.
Oh yeah.
We so silly, y'all. We so silly. Okay, let me get out of that. Let me get back in that. Hey, what's going on out there, y'all? We are live. We are silly. We are just at it. We are grown. And this is how we do it. We
Do
have a
it.
panel here today.
Yep.
Welcome to the Donna Smith Show, where we give you grown folk dialogue and conversation every Sunday. 7 o'clock on YouTube Live, 6:30 Zoom. This is every Sunday. Also look for me usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have a live video for you talking about adult topics. So I love your feedback. I love to see you there. And I'm just loving all my men on the panel today. Where's the women? Ah! Don't y'all beat me up. Be gentle now. Be gentle. Cause I mean, don't be.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Orgy, huh?
Oh Lord,
Oh,
here we go.
Oh,
We ain't even got to that part of the show yet.
dang.
You
You didn't
know,
waste no time, bruh.
grown folks out there, I know y'all watching, and I don't mind. Just leave a comment. But before we go there, the first thing we do when we start our show is we give a toast to the hostess with the mostest, which is me, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. Let's hold them up, y'all. Gareth, next time you have your glass. Don't be playing. You got a bottle? What's that?
yeah.
Yeah, it's transparent,
A
but it's there.
hey.
It's
Okay, here
there.
we go. To this
Hmm.
show and many, many, many more. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let me do this. I ain't drinking nothing but some juice, y'all. I just had some juice. That's it. But anyway, how's everyone doing out there? We were not live with our show or did our show at all last week. Last week was the holiday weekend. So we took a break so everybody could really enjoy. And excuse the glare. I've tried to knock it out a little bit, but it's a little bit of glare coming through my window, you guys. But I'm sorry. But we didn't do anything last week, but we're back now, and we're gonna try to have some fun and bounce this around with some grown folk topics of discussion. But what I want to talk about first is I want to welcome you guys, and I also found out that we have the boxing thing going on at 7 o'clock. So I hope some of y'all are not,
oh, oh,
because
Money
Floyd
Mayweather,
Mayweather,
huh?
Hmm.
Floyd
Yeah.
Mayweather is,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
and he's fighting that Logan Paul. So they're gonna have a 8 round. It's gonna be a short fight. 8 rounds is not too long. Um, and
The
it's in
highlights will be on
Miami.
YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah, it's
I'm
in
not worried
Miami
about
at the
it.
Hard Rock Stadium. So anybody got money on it? Anybody placing some bets on it or what? Because Logan Paul only fought once. Okay.
they say always bet on black.
He fought once and he lost with a split decision over another YouTube star. So Mayweather also
Mm,
had a TKO back in 2017. So
mm.
Always
I'm
bet on
pretty
black.
sure that most is gonna put their money on who?
Bet on black.
Mayweather.
Mayweather.
That's it.
Mayweather.
Who?
Mayweather.
Mayweather.
Logan Paul?
Mayweather.
That what you
I'm gonna
said?
say
Wow.
Well,
if I
I'm
were
I
to
mean
going to
I'm
vote, if I were going to bet, it would have to be Money Mayweather, hands down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's been 2017 though. This
Maybe
is
he should get knocked
fun.
out then, so he can make
That's
some money.
been
Better get some
a
stuff.
little while.
Yeah.
But you know how he do though, right? You know every time he fight, he put a big bet on himself.
He
Always
do?
he put. Oh yeah, sometimes he put a couple of $1 million on himself.
Is that right?
Mm.
Oh yeah,
So he put
Mayweather
it
do
on
it all the
himself
time.
down on what where's this money? Where is he? Who is he betting? I mean, where you know what I'm saying?
He live in Vegas.
So he
He
puts the
just go
money
to the
down,
casino and he put a bet on himself.
and then if
Mm.
he win, he gets all that back.
Oh, yeah, he usually do. He wins the fight and then he wins the side bet too.
Man, that's what's up then.
Yeah, he go to the casino and he bet. I think when
But
he
they're
started, he
fighting
didn't put
in
like $500,000 on himself. But now when he fights, he bets about 2 million or 3 million. Bet at the casino. It might be one casino or a couple of casinos on himself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of bread.
Okay. Well, they in Miami for this one.
Good.
Yeah, they in Miami. So that actually is now. It's 7:00. It was 7:00. I was told that a couple hours before the show. Maybe Donna, you wanna no, that show goes on. I ain't stopping my show.
I heard
I didn't even know that
for
mother
no
was
boxing.
on.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna keep this on. Hopefully they can toggle back and forth. Y'all with me? Y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
All right now. So I just want to throw that out there. If anybody was betting, and if you win, hit me up. A girl is taking donations. She's trying to do what she got to do. So let me know if you win. You ain't got to give me a lot. Just give me a little. You know what I'm saying? It depends. Okay. Y'all
What
hear
is
me?
that thing called? What is that thing called with the when you have people that give to their favorite podcast artist or whatever? What is that thing called? Matreon, huh? Matreon?
Oh, Patreon.
Patreon.
Yep. That's Patreon. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You have one of those?
I'm listening to you. What you gonna do?
Oh,
How you gonna set it up?
Oh, damn.
I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
All these sexual. See what I'm saying? All this sexual.
Did I say anything?
You said,
JJ, help me out. Help me out.
Hey.
Tim, help me out. Did y'all hear, Gareth? Did I say anything of a sexual? I didn't.
We're all trying to get a nut.
He ain't got there. Well, that's just a figure of speech, old school. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
That's not PC. That's not PC.
Lord have mercy. Okay, let's move it right along. Because I tell you, I can't even talk about the Mayweather fight without. Okay, but I am gonna switch to. You know what, you guys? I was going across reading some stuff, and I think I might have touched on this a little bit on another show, but FGM. Y'all know what that is?
I have no idea.
So it's
FGM.
female genital mutilation. FGM.
Oh.
And it's usually carried out in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. And this, and it has to do with the female genital cutting of the clitoris and that stuff like that, but when they're young, between the age of like 12 and 18 years of age.
Oh no, not that stuff.
And yeah. And so from what I was reading, they say it's an estimated of 68 million girls have faced being cut. Excuse me. An additional, they have 200 million girls and women today, as of today, that have undergone that particular procedure. But they estimate by 2030 that there'll be 68 million more girls, 68 million total that have underwent this. I read that. It was so interesting to me because I'm like, what is wrong? Why would you do that? And what is happening in Africa, Asia, and the Middle East? Okay, so
it's a Muslim practice in those countries.
It's the removal of the clitoris, and it's like, okay, so they will have no stimulation, no sexual, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, why would you do that? And when they're that young, you're not even giving them a chance. And they say the way that they physically hold these girls down, they're held down, their legs is up, they're strapped. I mean, you can't fight it. And then there's a lot of aftermath of You know,
Infection.
things that could happen as far as
Mhm.
infections, bleeding, even
Yep.
death. You know, where these young women suffer after having this procedure. And when they're done with you, they unstrap you, you go on over to the side and they call next.
Mhm.
What is wrong with people? What is the, you know, I
I
just
say
want to know what you
tradition.
guys felt about that, because I'm trying to understand what is the point of doing that to these young women.
Mm-mm-mm. That's
What,
crazy.
who, I mean, I can't, I mean, my heart just went out because I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, you may look at something where they're doing where they don't want young women to get pregnant, which
No,
would be
I'm not for
horrible
that.
too, where they would make you sterile, you know, between 12 and 18, so you couldn't have no kids. I mean, that would be crazy. The population would go, you know what I'm saying, and everything else.
Mhm.
But why would you take away the sensation, the sexual sensation part of a woman's area at such a young age before she can even decide if she even wants that or need that or whatever? I mean, what is the
No, everybody needs that. Everybody needs it.
Well,
Well,
you
But
know,
they do it. They do it
apparently
for a
they're
purpose.
thinking
What they
not,
do,
because they're taking it out, right?
but what they
yeah,
do is that when you're getting ready to be into your period time and stuff like that, they cut their clitoris and then they sew the vagina up. But they're
Right.
doing that because they're saying that it's not meant for pleasure. It's meant to make babies. So they want to take the pleasure part out of it for the woman and just make hers where it's,
For
and they
reproduction
stitching it
only.
up. Yeah, and they stitching it up so that when she gets married, her husband is getting a virgin woman from that year till. So if she gets married and he finds out the stitches are broken, then he does not have a virgin wife.
Oh.
yeah, yeah. They do it in different countries or social, whenever their society in their group or whatever they decide or whatever ritual they have going is varies. Just like what Ben was saying, and as well, they some consider it a right to womanhood, and then some do it to preserve the honor of the family so they can marry off the daughter. It's just
Mm.
it's just so many. Uh, it's crazy because you wonder how did you even come to that point to think that, or
Exactly. I'm
whatever.
like, okay, what was you guys doing? Having round table pizza and just decided,
Yep.
oh, let's
Yeah,
come up with this idea. I mean,
and the
really?
Damn.
main thing was to suppress the woman's sexuality, to suppress her from having any type of arousement before she was to become married.
Like Ben said, to take away all the sensation and just use her for reproduction only, but she just won't feel nothing.
What happened to chastity belts?
I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
Mm.
I would think that would be a better situation though, right? Because you just put it on and put a lock on it.
Lock it
You
up.
know, see y'all, see, come on now.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, that's
Well, I
why I
mean,
say I need me a woman on here today. I need
No,
me a woman.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying, why would that just goes to I don't know, that goes to the love of you as a parent to your child. Like, you care more about what the village thinks than you do about the health and safety of your child. And it's like you're messing her life up where it doesn't even matter. Just because she a woman, she's not even supposed to enjoy what's being done to her. So
But
her whole
I
life
do
is
believe,
upside down.
Ben, that they can be fined or jailed if they don't follow this law
Nah,
or these rules, right? As a parent, you
thank
have
God I was
to
born in America, man.
you have to do it, or I mean that, so somebody else is taking over the decision of your child in their well-being because you live in this part of the world. I mean, we got to be thankful. I mean, I know we fuss and fight about where we live, but I can't imagine, just having to turn over my daughter at 12 years old. They must be going around the time they start their menstrual and start going through sexual feelings and stuff. So from 12 to 18, they're capturing these girls and having this done to them. And the numbers, they say that it's 200 million girls and women today that has undergone that particular FGM, female genital mutilation.
Yeah, they say it's about, what is it, 4 million a year that go through it before the age of 15. But now, this is the cold part. Now you have health specialists. Now they can bring them, and you can have a health specialist perform it to make sure the safety of the person is intact.
Wow.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, I'm cool.
So it's evolving.
I don't want to live nowhere else. I'm cool. I'm staying right here.
I mean, I guess just to say, so every time you have the sexual act, it's all business and no pleasure. So I mean, how does the man even? I mean, like, how would you even enjoy that unless you put like lubricant on yourself every time? Because your woman is that whole sensation is dead.
Well, I mean, I can see where it would kind of mess with a man's psyche and knowing, because a lot of men are aroused in knowing that they're arousing their mate. They're making her feel good. They go by her reaction, her action, her sounds, her all this stuff turns him on. So if she's not feeling these things, then she's not reacting. It's just business as usual. We're just doing the Humpty Hump because we need to try to make this baby. And that I can see that affecting the man too. It has to.
But you got to think about the country, the culture. When we look at American culture, of course, we think about the things. We think about, the pleasure of one another, not just self-pleasure. We think about also the pleasure of the other. But in some countries or some cultures, it's all business. It's about being fruitful, and that's all that's used for, is to be fruitful. And so they don't understand, or I won't say understand, just to say they're ignorant to the point, and what I mean the ignorance is they don't know. They don't know based on the way we may look at things in American culture. They just know what they know based on what they've been raised up with, been something going through, his father, the grandfather, the great-great-grandfather.
That's all they know.
It was just used to be fruitful, not about the pleasure. And then, I mean, it's a trip, because I'm just going to be the devil advocate here. Just think about it. If you just use that thought is just for reproducing, right? Reproduction, right? And therefore, do that cut down when you have that mindset? Do it cut down on rape? Do it cut down on a lot of other immoral sexuality practices? You know what I mean? What does it eliminate? But then at the same time, why must a woman have to be the one that's treated that way? And why it can't just be a teaching of saying the only time you have sex?
You made a good point, because like in the case of rape and stuff, they get off on the control and the power of knowing that they're bringing harm or pain or whatever to the next person. So if this person is not, I mean, they're feeling the moment of something being done to them, but they're not feeling pleasure and pain.
Oh no, that's the cold part about it. They're going through the pain. They went through the pain.
They're not feeling.
But the thing is, if this is something that's taught in the culture, so if the culture is being taught, or what's being taught in the culture of sex is only for the reproduction, right? For reproducing kids, then if that is taught in the culture, then therefore it must be taught to both the male and the female, right? So if it's taught to both the male and the female, then there shouldn't be any reason to perform these procedures that you're doing, this FGM. If we're taught, then that's all we know. Because I can imagine if a woman is taught your body is only for producing children. So if she's taught that, and if the men are taught that,
that's all they know. That's all they.
That would be all they know. But again, it goes back to, like you mentioned, control. A lot of these cultures, they're very controlling. The men are very controlling of the women. Women are to be submissive in more ways that the Bible don't even list, you know? I mean, it's just a lot of different things that go on. Real quick, this lady told me how, and she was in one country. She married this guy. She was in this country. She did something. And not only did the husband jack her up, but the whole family jack her up with like them little sticks or whatever. They all beat on her. So this is how women are treated, you know?
That's so sad.
As the
I know
man.
that I know in a lot of countries, when women actually get raped, they're the actual perpetrator, they're saying. And they put them in jail for it. You know, Afghanistan, Pakistan, you know, African countries, you know, they get raped and then they're the ones that end up with the jail sentence. You know, it's they just totally beat down the female in their culture.
Absolutely amazing. Wow.
Wow, you opened a can of worms. I ain't want that. I want to laugh and chuckle.
So sad. So sad. Well, you know me. I'm your hostess with the most, aka Lady D. And you know I bounce off the wall, so you never know what's coming your way. So you just have to buckle your seatbelt.
Totally caught off guard with this one.
Stay ready, okay? So we're gonna move on. We're gonna pray for them, and we're gonna move on to the next topic. That was just really interesting to me when I was reading it, and I said, wow, got to talk about
you should reach out to somebody. I know you probably have somebody in your group that has experience.
I don't have nobody in my group that got their clit cut off. No.
How you know? You don't know that.
I don't think so. They would have probably
even if
said
they haven't done it, even if they haven't had it done, somebody did.
They would have said it.
No, they wouldn't. You're not gonna tell nobody if somebody did that to you. You wouldn't tell that.
Okay.
You wouldn't tell nobody that.
Okay, next question.
That's just not a conversation.
Okay, so now what we gonna do? Okay, look, God, let's just move on now because Benjamin Smith is on one, and I.
You done stress me out. Now
I can't go there. You know, this is a bit much. I'm the only female here, but I got this.
Yeah, you got this. You got this, Miss Donna.
I got this. Now, what I want to know, this is an interesting topic too, grown folks. Come on now. And y'all, for my viewing audience, please chime in. Send a message. Ask a question. We see you. We see y'all. We doing what we do, but we love the fact that you have joined in. This is what we do. Okay, so on the level of marriage, before two people that love each other decide to get married, should men and women go to marriage counseling through their church before they get married? Why or why not do you feel and think that this is important for two Christians that are coming together in matrimony to do marriage counseling beforehand? I'll wait.
Well, I can speak as one who went through marriage counseling.
Okay, did it help?
I didn't get married, but
so it helped you. Did it help you decide that this wasn't?
I learned some things about me. Let me speak about me.
Okay.
I know Because we always say, well, I know what I like, I know how I want to do things or whatever. But you become more exposed to really what that looks like. You know, you become more exposed to even the pet peeves that you didn't realize you have. But you also make yourself aware, and you make it clear to yourself of what are you expecting from the person and what is it you have to offer. Okay. But then not only on that, the main thing is, are y'all on the same way?
So you're saying that the counseling, that being the third party, that they should be unbiased, and they're looking at things through a biblical, spiritual standpoint, not trying to tell you what to do, but just trying to help you guys both see what what is expected of you in this union as the man, the head, and as the woman, right? I mean, so do they go that route with it, or is it a matter of them just allowing you to talk about why you're getting married, why you want to be with this person, and what your expectations are?
We had lessons. We had lessons, had homework to do, and it wasn't just about that, but it was about bringing up things that's going to come up. Finances is going to come up. And a lot of times, that is a big argument that happens within couples. I mean, it happens between folks who ain't even married. We just had a finance question last time about putting up the house.
Hello.
Over some jeans and some makeup.
Some jeans and some makeup.
I forgot about that.
Put up your house to get me out.
You know what I mean? And then the fact of why was that person stealing? Why the other person didn't give him no money, right? Okay. I mean, so you have them issues. And then is it going to be a blended family? Is one bringing in, you both bringing in children? How do each one of you raise children? How do you go about discipline children? And then other things. How does it deal with, there's so many things that you usually don't talk about.
But some things too, I believe, and Garuth, you chime in whenever. I know you being chill, but we want to hear from everybody if you got something to say on this, any other topics. But some things I believe you have to go through it to know how you're going to deal with it. Okay, let's say you could say all day long, well, if she lose her job or he lose his job, I got this. It ain't no problem. We married now. We gonna get married. We together. And then as soon as that situation happens, and he or she can't find a job for a year or two, and you paying all the bills and the weight of the finance, and then you turn around and you find out they shopping on money that you trying to put away and save for stuff, and they doing some other stuff. You have this situation. You didn't know that this person would do it like that, but you had to go through that, right? Or how they would handle the stress of losing a job or the stress of losing a parent. How do they deal with stress? What if their grown children want to come back home and lay up on your couch and smoke weed all day, but that's their children. They had them before you. And you know what I'm saying? That's my kid. I ain't leaving my child out there. He in a situation. He can come lay up on my couch and smoke weed. That's all right. He ain't in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But that is stuff that causes problems and division in a marriage. You don't know how you're going to deal with it until you go through it. And I asked the question because, I've had some that come to me and say they found it very helpful going through counseling beforehand that helped them and their mate on a spiritual tip. And then there's some who went through counseling that wasn't through the church.
Yeah.
Said it helped them, So I'm just wondering if you were going to marry somebody tomorrow, JJ, and they say, well,
put me on the spot. That's right.
I go to good somebody's church down the block, and I've been a member of that for 15 years and they got a marriage counseling class. And, before I marry you, we got to do this.
I think both parties should agree upon doing that. I don't think anybody should feel forced to go to any type of counseling. And I honestly feel like if the communication is there, like you're at least discussing finances or what have you, at least once a month, I think you're good, and you're good to go. And communication is a big factor for me anyway. If you don't have communication, you don't have anything. You really don't. And you don't have that trust. You don't have the love. There's nobody talking about anything. You're just living a facade. So I firmly believe that both parties should agree upon going into counseling. If that's what they want to do, they might not want counseling. Some people just want to ride the waves of however it goes.
Sometimes one may want something and the other may don't. And that's
that
what
too.
Communication
That's true.
comes. But the one that wants it may feel that on a spiritual tip, we winning if we do this. You know what I'm saying? But we got to put our trust in God and our faith before anybody else or anything else. Not to say that the pastor or whoever's doing the class is going to be the one with all the answers, but God is the one with all the answers, right? When it comes to your union.
Right.
But I'm just wondering because I think personally that in some regard, it could be a good thing to do any type of counseling. If you're both in sync with doing that, it helps you to really, like John was saying, really learn a lot about yourself too. And in his situation, it made him realize that maybe I need to wait, or I need to wait with this person, or I need to just wait, period, in my life until
that's the question right there. So what was the outcome? Like, why did you decide not to get married?
Big, you're digging too deep, man.
It was well, first let me clear something up. It's not about getting the answers, but it's about just being aware of some things that you're usually not aware of. Just saying, look, these things are gonna come about. Like you said, you're gonna, until you're in it and you go through it, that's the real test of if you're when Johnny Gill says, can you stand the rain, right? Mm-hmm. That's when you know, but you just make some things aware of which you usually don't talk about normally. Like JJ was saying, if you were to have these conversations at least once a month about finances, but how many people do that? Or think to do that? But for me, it was a lot more things that came into play, along the way. Because it was things that happened in the counseling, outside the counseling that made it clear that it wasn't going to happen,
So it was a combination. It was a combination where you got to weigh in everything.
I'm going to say the counseling was positive, but it's the life, the experience, like you said, because sometimes we experience things with another person that has nothing to do with marriage. It's just the fact that we have this relationship. We have this connection of someone. And in that connection or that relationship, we disagree to disagree.
That's one of my favorite quotes. Disagree to disagree. Disagree agreeably or disagree to disagree.
No, we don't disagree. We don't agree to disagree. We disagree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
So there's other things that come into play along the way. The counseling thing is just more or less some things to bring your awareness. Yeah. Some things to say, look, along the way, it's going to be rough. Hey, marriage is going to take some work. Just some things. So when things come about, you shouldn't be shocked. You should be like, oh, I knew this was coming, but now what do I do? How do I know?
You knew that red flag was coming. That piece of that red flag is a mother. Y'all got to pay attention to them red flags. You know that, right?
Yeah, yeah. But you know, I learned. I'm gonna tell you what I took away from it, and when I applied was that I made a better me. You
Mm.
know, so if I had to go around and I had to go through to the point of saying I'm getting married, I know I'm gonna be a damn good husband
Yeah,
because I know what I've done with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's lay your cards on the table now.
that's right. And that's so important. We gotta, a lot of times it's so easy to get caught up with trying to point the finger and blame the other person
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
everything. And it takes two. It takes a reaction, it takes an action and a reaction, and it takes two. So you have to stop blaming the other person and identify what's going on with self, because that's hard
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people to do, because they want to blame. They don't want
Can
to
I
be.
ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
So the it, I don't know if I should say that because as in the counseling, non-denominational, like going outside the church or coming inside the church, do you feel like there is a difference, or you know is it like a guideline that they follow and you like, okay, these are kind of the same guidelines?
I think you mean like a non-denominational church
Yeah, like just yeah, like
compared
if
to
you
a
outside the church,
denominational.
yeah.
I think with any type of advice giving or counseling or whatever, you have to be real. You have to have some type of understanding or experience really helps, and it varies with people. There probably is something that some folks probably follow, but then there's some folks who say, look, this is how it is. I'm gonna tell you
Mm-hmm.
based on my experience or whatever, because I know for me, uh, if I would have got married the first time, I went to counseling twice. If I would have got married the first time
Oh,
I
you
went to
should be a real,
counseling,
you should be a real good tool in
I
the
wouldn't
pot.
have I wouldn't have been no good. I wouldn't have been no good because
What
I
if
know
you would have
me.
got married the first time?
Oh, I know me. If I would have got married outside of counseling, I know
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
And see, I know I wouldn't. I would have been sitting in court. Why half, Your Honor?
Hmm. Yeah. Well, see, at least you're aware of that. You recognize that, and it has made you a better person moving forward. And that's one of the things that we need to focus on. Because with wisdom and experience in life, it should make us better. With each relationship, it should make you better. I mean, some of us has had 1,000 relationships. Shit, we should be damn good after that. Cause I mean, with each one, you're supposed to sharpen you a little bit more, right?
Thanks for
Mm-hmm.
sharing, my brother. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks for
Yeah, no
sharing.
Yes.
problem, man.
Yes. Thank you.
We appreciate that, man. Okay, y'all, let's move on. Now, this is an inquiring minds want to know question, and I was speaking to somebody
Let me
about
take
this,
a
and
sip.
actually, this was discussed in a group, and it was brought to my attention to bring this up at the on the show, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. And for you viewing audience, please feel free to let me know what you think about this and any of the topics. Share this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, because we want to see you back next time too. So anyway, here it goes. So, so I need some advice, grown folks. Yesterday, I found messages from another guy to my fiance and pictures that she had took. We are 30 days from our wedding and have a 9-month-old baby. I don't know what I should do. I've called her out on it and she admitted to everything. Do I forgive her and try to fix it or just give up and take my daughter and leave her? Now, the questions I raise with that is, did something make her do that? Was it a situation in their union? Was things occurring that made her do this with the other guy? Is it over? Should it be over? Or was she just having cold feet? Maybe she wanted her last hurrah and she was playing the texty phone thing with somebody 30 days before her marriage, and she has a 9-month-old baby. I like to know what you guys think about that. Gareth, what you got to say about that? What you think? You think she tripping? You think Boo tripping?
I want to know why and why do you do this? Why?
Why did you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah, what made her? Why did she even go there? Yeah. That's a good thing to want to know. It's like that's what we're trying to figure out. I mean, this question and this situation is, I'm quite sure some have went through it.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
Would it be okay for dude to go and step out on her and go have himself a little fling 30 days before the wedding since she did that? You know, let's flip the tables around.
I mean,
they say two wrongs don't make a right, but I mean, she did her thing. Maybe he forgive it if he get to go play around with somebody.
So that would make a tit for tat type of thing, right?
Right.
So but they already starting this off really boozy. I mean,
it's already toxic.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, okay, you did it, so I'm gonna jump in the lake with the sharks too. And then what? We getting ready to marry with this 9-month-old baby, and we ain't even said I do yet, and we got some serious problems going on. But I'm not gonna blame the guy because it could be reversed. It could be the dude that did it to her, but this is the woman in this case. But I will say, usually, unless you just dealing with somebody that got some kind of issues, usually there's something that drives a person to do certain things like that. We don't know the hidden dynamics. We don't know if they had been fussing and fretting about something lately, or perhaps she don't trust him all of a sudden because maybe she got issues with something.
Maybe he was playing the video games too much or something. Go away, I'm playing Call of Duty.
Maybe he's not giving her attention and quality time like he used to because it's the baby now. He's working longer hours. He can't really be all up at Boo like that. And this other dude was, whoa, what? He was giving her attention. He was giving her conversation.
Go away, I'm playing Call of Duty. I got somebody that'll call to my duty.
You know what, JJ? You try to see, you can't be doing it like that.
You know what? This is the thing. Can I make you cheat? Can I make you cheat?
I don't think nobody can make you
go.
I think
it's because the question was, when is it that he done to cause her to do this?
There we go.
You know, what caused her to do it? Her decision.
The question was, did something make her do that? Did something?
No, but what I'm saying is, her decision. She made a decision. She made a decision. She could have took that same energy and say, hey, we need to talk. This situation between you and I right now is sticky. But she made a decision to look somewhere else. And if it was vice versa, it's a decision made. It's no matter what I've done. Yeah, I'm on Call of Duty. She should have came and unplugged it and say, hey, we need to talk. Or we need to handle our business, whatever. But I can't make you do nothing. That's when people say, oh, well, if you're the one who caused me to go out there, how I do that?
But the thing is, too, John, how did he know? Oh, no, what's going on? Okay. How did he know that it was messages in her phone and pictures? Why was he
the way she was acting.
Why was he looking at her phone?
It was probably something. It was probably something.
I mean, I had to be asking that question. I mean, they got some stuff going on.
He said, "Are we asking that question?"
Because here he is. They like she took the phone and said, "Baby, here, check this out." She ain't did that, right? So how did he know?
She could have been cutting him short.
She could have been scrolling and hiding her phone and going in the bathroom with her phone for like an hour or something.
He knew what was up. He already had that program on that phone. Shoot, they probably had it on each other's phone.
So there is a program where you can look and see what texts and pictures the other person.
Oh my God!
It's
did not say that.
there's a program where you have
I want
basically
that program.
it's like it basically tracks your location.
Yeah,
So you
that,
can put
and it's a cloner.
Well, I know
Got a
that
clone
you
program
can find
too.
out
Yeah,
where
that's
they're
true.
at, but can you
Every time
find
you
out?
get a text message, they get a text message. Every time you get a phone call, they get the phone call. It's a clone. They can literally clone your phone if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
How can they
And you
have the
shouldn't
right
have a
to do
problem with
that?
that.
That's your phone. That's your bill.
Oh
That's
my
your.
God, here you
Don't
go.
you have to be on the same plan
That's
with
what a
somebody?
cheater says. You know that? That's how cheaters talk.
I'm just asking questions. I'm trying to figure out what. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to help
can't.
these grown folks out here.
I can't.
Don't you have to be on the same plan?
Oh my God.
No.
We
So
didn't we
you mean
just
to
have a
tell
pipeline
me?
hack
You
like
mean to
not too
tell
long
me
ago?
I'm dating Charlie, and Charlie and I are not married. We're just dating, and we have a different phone carriers, and he can get an app to tap into my phone to find out who I'm texting and when.
Once your phone opens up, like you know how you swipe it or you push the button, Charlie can set his phone right next to your phone, and it'll send a message to your phone. He pushed the OK button, and it's inside your phone. That fast.
Oh hell no!
Oh yeah, all this technology is
What
vulnerable.
app is that? Because I'm getting ready to tell them I don't want.
Why would I tell you that or your audience? I want to keep my secret.
No, Gareth, you know about that?
No.
Oh, okay. So this is new to you too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, my brother. I'm here. Y'all know these other ones here. They doing some stuff.
But you know, you gotta wonder if she was acting a certain way. Because you know, they talk about women's intuition. Men have some type of intuition as well. They know when things ain't right. You know, you act in a certain way, we don't know exactly what led for him to look in the phone, but the fact is he looked, and this is what was discovered on the phone. So let's say this. Say he never looked at the phone. He never looked at it, but it's still on her phone. It's the fact that it's on her phone, and this is what's taking place.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not saying she right. I'm not
and that
saying
should have never happened.
She
I'm
could have
not
left her
saying
phone
she
out
right,
and
but
it didn't
maybe
lock
this is an
itself.
old friend.
And then
she's
even
been
then, she
texting.
got this dude that she texted and talking to. Did he put a ring on it? Is he trying to marry her?
No, the
Is
baby
he trying
daddy
to be her husband? So
the baby
why in the
daddy.
heck is you even let somebody else infiltrate your situation when you 30 days away from being somebody's wife, and you risking all that for some knucklehead? That makes no sense.
Apparently,
people
it's
live for the
somebody she
thrill.
still got friendship attachments with. Maybe she feels she ain't married yet, so she's still been keeping in touch. But I mean, the thing about sending pictures and all that, I mean, that's doing a bit much, and I'm 30 days away from
I
getting
tell
married.
you one thing. I would say one thing to you. I don't want to put the religion game in there, but that brother should be thanking God that he was able to see this situation and see this person's character before he went down the altar. At least he has a chance to just make a decision to say, oh, do I want to do this? Look at her. She can't even, we almost getting ready to get married. We got a kid and she can't keep it to herself.
Well,
and he didn't even say what kind of picture.
He
didn't
said,
even say what she sent in her
battling between forgiving her or taking his daughter, he said, and leaving her.
Oh, can he legally do that? Just take the daughter
No,
and run
he
off?
can't legally do it. Like
yes,
you
he
gotta
can.
go through. You gotta go through the courts
no, you
and
don't.
channels.
Yes, no, you don't. Don't tell people that.
You do have to go through the court.
No,
you can't
don't.
just take the
No,
child and just be done with it.
When your child is born, and it's that mother and that father is on that birth certificate, and he signed the documents and the time that went by, y'all have 50-50 custody instantaneously. He can take his kid and disappear, and she can never see that kid again unless she make it to court.
You can't just take.
Yes, you can. I'm telling you, that's the law.
Well, I need to
Just
know
like
what
the
law
mama
that
can do the
is.
same
I
thing.
ain't heard that law.
She can leave the house and take the baby. The daddy can do the same thing. Leave the house, take his kid.
Okay, bring that law back to the next show. I'm making a note on here.
Can we say hey, can we say marriage counseling?
Hey, I mean, can we say? Because I mean, they only got 30 days, so you know they treading on some thin ice. But I had to share that one because it was an interesting topic, and I just, man, I just wish the best for this couple. I don't know how it's gonna pan out, what the guy's gonna do, but that's a big decision to make once you find out.
I mean, if he's thinking forgiveness, they need to have a conversation. Because I ain't gonna never tell nobody don't forgive. Because some people have went through things, they forgave one another, and their relationship has just blossomed in ways that you can't even imagine. You know, but he really needs to have that conversation with her and himself, and then accept, if he is gonna forgive her, he needs to accept the fact that if it happens, he can't hold it against her. You know, he needs to move on.
And not be grabbing her phone every other day, looking at it.
Yeah.
Trying to see if she's still texting a knuckle. Come on now. You gotta let it go. If you forgive, you gotta forgive. Just like somebody that forgives you for cheating and stay with you, but they're accusing you of cheating with everybody under the moon after they decide to stay with you. Now, I thought we got past that. You know, so you gotta really be.
It don't work that fast.
You gotta really be into forgiving. But great.
It don't work that fast, Donna. You know better than that. You know, just the next day, I forgive you. Don't say nothing no more. Come on now. If you got cheated on, it's gonna be a minute, and you're gonna have to go through something and get it back together. It's gonna be a minute before you trust them like that again, and they should understand.
Yeah, but but I'm not saying just that it's gonna be overnight. But what I'm saying is when you make the choice to forgive somebody, you're gonna go through your little time of getting it together, but you can't continuously accuse them and beat them down about the thing that you forgave them about, because that's not a true forgiveness. You still harboring bitterness. You're still holding on to, this resentment towards them, and that's gonna cause more damage in your union than the damn act itself did.
Yeah, forgiveness and forgetting are two different things. When I forgive you, I'm no longer going to bring these charges back up against you. But that doesn't mean I forgot. And like Ben said, it's going to take a minute for my mind to get into a state of transforming the way my thoughts used to be, and getting into a point to where now it's at the back of my mind. It ain't left my mind, but it's at the back of my mind, and I'm not tripping off it. It's to the back of my mind to where it may seem as if I forgot, But when we forgive, we have to understand this forgiveness is saying, I'm no longer charging you. I'm no longer charging you for what happened, But then, like Ben said, it got to be clear. I ain't forgot though.
Yeah.
And so don't give me no memories.
No, I know. you gotta be willing to, man, that's a trip. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff.
There's a lot of layers to this. Good insight.
Yeah, it is a lot of layers. I really would be interested to know what happens. What transpires.
Just how deep was this relationship with this woman and this other guy? That plays a role as well, because if
how
this
deep
relationship
and I mean, apparently the pictures were enough to cause a fire, a volcano. I don't know if she sent nude pictures, what type of pictures, but they raised some headache. You know what I'm saying? So something is really wrong for her to have to send your dude these pictures. He may want to look at them on his lunch break. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Send them to him.
I know that's right.
I mean, that may entice your evening. You maybe, but they may, they, like I said, it may be a lot of dynamics between them and reason why they are feeling disconnected. Apparently so. And Tyrone just came on and he just made it do what it do. Better call Tyrone. Y'all so y'all so funny. But anyway, good feedback.
Raekwon now, huh? Call Raekwon nowadays.
No, that's too ghetto. I like Tyrone. Raekwon, no, not Raekwon.
Hey, Garrett might understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of songs back then you used to hear about Jody.
Jody. Oh yeah, Jody. Wasn't that Jody in the movie?
Jody is no joke.
Jody was a joke. No joke.
Jody's job.
She ended up marrying Jody, didn't she?
Yeah, but we talking about
Jody the wine.
No, we talking about a Jody.
Oh, a Jody.
Know what I'm talking about? Jody.
See, y'all getting to be too much when you holding up the cups and you talking mess. You holding up the cups and you talking mess. JD, don't be acting like you don't know, because I know you know.
I'm being completely quiet over here.
All right, moving on to the next
business.
We moving on. You know what? We ain't got a lot of time left. We got a little bit of time to do. This is a 2-part question. And this one gets a little, I always have to throw in something about the sex, a little bit lightweight. It ain't too much. It's just a little something. But do women learn orgasms through self-stimulation? That's the first part. Okay. And is sex a way that women give love? That's the second part.
Yeah, you missing
something to think about.
You need some women on this panel.
Do women learn orgasm through self-stimulation? Is that where they do? Is that where it first originate? Ain't got nothing to do with the man. Ain't got nothing to do with the husband, boyfriend, the boy Tyrone, Raekwon. It ain't got nothing to do with Raekwon. It's her self-stimulation.
That's right, right.
And it's a way that a woman gives love.
That's when you get the sandwich made. After you finish making it happen, jump up and go get the sandwich. Make your sandwich, right? Like, woo, you did a good job.
What kind of sandwich you talking about?
After to get a sandwich? Oh, no. The sandwich. After he done did a real good job, he might get breakfast in bed.
So
you know what it is.
What part of the question is that for, Ben? Is that for do women learn or
that's a part of getting that good love. She gives him that love. That's a part of that love language. Afterwards, he's like, ooh, man, you were so good. I'm gonna give you a sandwich.
So sex is a way that women show love.
That's a part of it.
Give love. Is that the way?
But I think a woman could give
love to their men is through the sex.
Yeah,
they could give meaningless sex, like just hit it because I need a need taken care of, and then get off of me. They could do that. It don't have to equal love.
It don't have to be for giving.
It don't have to be.
It don't have. It don't have.
It could be a love language.
It could be, but
after you get it, you like, ooh, man.
Some women feel as though
you need your car paid for.
Wouldn't you say some women feel as though, like they say, food on the table, no fussing, and food on the table, no fussing, and the F word, and do it good. The 3
stuff
F's.
You got for your grandma. Your grandma said that to you.
Food on the table.
It's your grandma.
No fussing and him. Okay.
Food,
some women
no
believe in that. Now,
okay.
That's a way they feel that shows the love, and that's a way to keep the man.
You need some women for this one, because I can't tell you how a woman with her explorations.
So
I think you add to the bond, though.
Let's rewind it back to the bond. Do you feel as though they learn their orgasms through self-stimulation?
That's where men learn from.
It depends. It depends on her experiences. Was her experience her first, or was her experience with the guy? How did was the whole situation came about? I mean, I don't know. You know, I can't answer. I
Because
mean,
it's
and
some
then that's a
women who
broad question. That's a broad question
it's
for
some
women.
women who have never self-stimulated themselves. Not all have self-stimulated
Yeah,
themselves.
that's
They've
Then
true.
had
wonder why a
they've done
man can't
nothing
make
but
them
say,
orgasm.
huh?
And then wonder why a man
Yeah.
can't make them orgasm.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to take care of yourself and know what you want
But
to be able to
some
get to
women
where
Oh
you need to
my.
go.
some women find that really invasive
Oh.
and not they don't like doing that. They just feel like
So
they
what
have
is that telling you?
a man to do that.
What is that telling you, Div? They don't like doing that to themselves. What
I
is that
don't know.
telling you? You know what it means.
I mean,
I don't want to do nothing to myself. You like,
I
oh
would
man, here
think
we go.
I would say it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice if a woman wants to self-pleasure herself or not. Just like some men will tell you, "Oh no, I don't get down like that with myself. I need a woman." And they go
Liar.
on and they get with a woman. They don't do that thing to them. Okay, what I
I'm
Liar.
missed?
sorry.
What'd he say?
Ben was talking about
Liar.
liar.
You think they lying? Some men, no, not all men do that. I mean, I ain't a man, but I'm just saying, I really, I don't think,
Okay.
girl, not all men do that, huh?
No.
No.
It's the way.
Okay,
It's the
that's
way you
right.
say stuff,
He
Ben.
don't
I'm
mind
over here.
side.
I'm
He
trying
don't.
not to crack up.
Not all men do that for real though.
No,
Now,
no,
now, now,
man.
now,
No.
I think it's a large percentage that do, but I don't think all of them do. Some of them not into that.
Ain't nobody
They
going.
Hey,
Not
so you
rather
gonna
be with
everybody's
a
gonna
tell
have an
woman,
me
open
you
discussion
know a
about it
man?
either.
huh?
You
I was
tell me
saying.
you know a man that has never self-satisfied himself. You know one.
Yeah, that said they have never. I mean, I don't think they would lie about it.
Oh my God.
They said they don't. They rather be with a. Are they lying?
Oh my God. Come on here.
Okay, that's a topic.
Yeah.
That's a topic because I'm not a man. I'm very much a woman, but I'm just saying. Are you okay? You can't speak for the majority of the men. You can speak for yourself, and you
I
can say
can't.
no. You can't say that all men self pleasure themselves.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
right, Garath?
Right.
Okay, right. He good at
If
it.
you had, okay, let me tell you like this, and this ain't being funny, just keeping it real. If you held a gun to a man's head and say you better take care of yourself right now, you would see some interesting techniques, and you'd be like, what in the what? There would be some interesting techniques that you would see with a man with his hands down. Don't say that.
What?
Every man know how to take care of himself. That's crap.
I mean, I'm not gonna say they don't know how.
If you know how, that means you've done it before. Nobody can do something and know how to do it if they've never done it ever before.
I mean, but you gotta look at you got movies, you got magazines, you got stuff to people can engage in to learn. You got shit, you can Google it. Hell, you could go on YouTube and Google and put in anything you want to see and learn.
Mm-hmm.
They got it there, sexual or not. It's wide open, so people can really watch these things.
Oh my God! Yeah, you right, John. Let's move on. You got me. Let's move on, man. Dang.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's an interesting question, and I think that it piggybacked onto some other stuff where
those are questions
I will bring
that
up at another show.
Making you ask the question. That's the question you ask, and then it goes from the general population to the personal to all in your life. The questions are horrible.
They horrible today?
Yeah, because you can slip it. Somebody just open their mouth and say, Well, what about you? Then here we go.
Wow.
I think Ben has had too much punch.
Yeah.
I ain't drinking nothing but some Coke. Coca-Cola.
We got one more and then we gonna have to hit the door. But one more question
Okay.
I'm just gonna think of the top of my head. This in regards to like some people who get themselves in a situation where you get a woman, say for instance, she gets pregnant by someone, and the person she gets pregnant by turns up to be not supportive, not cool, things don't work out, they break up, but she's still with child.
Mm-hmm.
She meets someone else who is very much attracted to her mind, body, heart, wants to be there for her, be with her through the whole ordeal of having the baby, through the rest of her pregnancy, all of that. And she moves on and she gets with this other person. Is that a wrong thing to do? Well, how do you think other people view that situation with someone making that type of choice to move on with somebody else that's pregnant? And what is that saying about the man who is interested in this woman that's pregnant with somebody else's baby? Something to think about.
So the statement is, this woman was pregnant by someone else. She's separated from that person, and she gets with this other guy, and he decides to stay with her, to be with her, even though she's pregnant by someone else.
Right. Your audio is kind of raspy, but we can hear you.
Is that better?
That's better now.
Oh yeah.
So the person decides to stay with her, regardless. He loves her. He's connected with her. She's having somebody else's baby, but she's getting a lot of flack, of course, from people, family, friends, this and that, and this and that. I mean, do you think, under the circumstances, and what does that say about the guy? Is that something that a man should do and get involved with? And what is that saying about her to take on a new relationship while she's pregnant with somebody else's child?
Y'all be hitting a lot of things all up in my yard, right?
That's right. I'm a fly on the wall. All in your backyard.
I dated a girl who was pregnant by someone else.
Hello. See, look at me.
Okay.
She was pregnant by someone else.
So what made you? So how did you feel about that?
Well, when I met her, and it was early in her pregnancy, and I knew her beforehand, and we was real cool and everything, and we hung out, we kind of started dating, and she ended up later, let me know she was pregnant, and but I still kicked it with her, took it to her, when I had time, if I was off work, able to go with her to her little appointments or whatever, because it's really not about, the problem I would have if you're trying to go back and forth between me and the baby, that's a different thing, but that wasn't the case, and it wasn't about because she's pregnant, do that change who the person is? So that's like saying, oh, I met a woman with one leg. Do that change who the person is? And so, but like you say, what do that say about the man? That's not for everybody. We can't take a situation.
Did you have moments of questionable moments, like, what am I doing?
No, I didn't.
That ain't even my baby. Why am I doing this? I could be with another woman and make my own baby.
I ain't had no problem with that. It didn't faze me at all. It was more.
You got attached to the woman, the heart and the mind, and
it was the person. So so it's just like you get with somebody You gotta understand, everything about her comes with her. Old boy got with that girl, and them three strikes came with her, right, Ben? So I mean, and that's just how it goes,
Yeah.
Because if that's the situation, then you really need to check uh, yourself. Really, I mean, it's your choice. If you say I don't want to get with someone who's pregnant, that's your choice. There's no problem with that, you know. But to get involved and then to later say, oh, I'm belling, I've been thinking, then there are some conditions or something that you've brought about or what have you. Because then that's the same thing. How do I go to a woman I'm with, right? And
Right.
all of a sudden I tell her, oh, I got this other girl over here pregnant.
Mm.
But I want you still hang in there with me now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Me
that's
and her don't kick you like that.
that's sticky
No.
right there.
Yeah, but why? Why?
That's interesting. That's a
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because if I meet you
'Cause
and we gigging and you tell me you got another woman pregnant, but y'all decided you're not gonna be together, that's deep.
but it was
Mhm.
before you.
True.
Okay, your pregnant
He's
baby
still
was
gonna be a
But it's
baby
gonna
daddy,
be
right?
it is
huh?
definitely gonna be a
He's
something
still gonna be a baby daddy. Rather you got with him in the beginning or 5 years later, he's still he still got a woman with a child somewhere.
And she
Mhm.
still got a daddy
Yeah.
somewhere. So it don't matter.
You just met her when her belly was big. Well, almost big. And then it
No,
got big.
I no, she wasn't really showing.
She wasn't
Oh, she
showing yet.
wasn't showing, but
No.
but yeah. Hmm. That's something. I just wanted to know there's a few people who have went through that and couldn't really deal with it.
Yeah.
There's a man I know who went through it and was with the woman throughout the pregnancy, but they ended up breaking up after the baby came.
Yeah.
So,
Because she
it
went
Mhm.
got a
back to
little
the baby daddy.
no, she never
Come
went
on,
back
man.
to the baby daddy, but the baby daddy was of course causing a lot of mess because she was somebody else. So he started causing a lot of drama and it just became too much to deal with.
I always think
Mhm.
that people can only cause the amount of drama that you allow to be caused.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
why is it how okay, so if I'm saying, oh, the baby mama calling all this drama, why? Because I let her call anytime she want to call. I let her come to the house anytime she want to come. I let her talk to me and my girl any way she want to. So yeah, the drama crawls. But if
Mm-hmm.
I cut down, I'm not answering your phone. If you ain't calling me about the kid, blam, you don't come to my house, so
You got to
Mhm.
take control of the situation, especially when you got somebody else. You got to take control of making sure that that person respects you, your house, and your situation. By like you said, what reason for you to be calling me if it ain't in concerning the kid?
yeah.
If we're not talking about the baby, the needs, or what we gonna do tomorrow, pick him up, whatever. It ain't. What else do we have to talk about? Where you, because some people will do some deliberate stuff. They'll call you at 11, 12 o'clock at night, knowing that your man is there or your woman is there, just to get a rise, just to cause
Mm-hmm.
some issues. Where your mate is gonna be like, why is that? Why is he calling this time of night? Why is she calling? She could have called earlier and said the baby needed
Mhm.
diapers. She could have called earlier and say pick the baby up from school. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it's a sticky situation. But I have the utmost respect for, love is love. It's powerful. Connection is connection. And like the point you made, a person got one leg or whatever, you loving them for who they are. Pregnancy is a temporary thing, and it's a lot of times people get left with holding a baby, but the situation is not good, and the relationship just didn't work out. So life goes on, and they happen to meet somebody, and they bring it all out. And I have utmost respect for um, a man who takes on that, because, or if it was a woman, in reverse, because it's not easy, you know, and it could cause some repercussions that, you know, it could cause some things, some serious situations could occur by getting involved with that if that person is not handling a business.
It's the individual in the situation, like you say. You know, if it's just crazy, then I can see a person backing out, be it the female or the male backing out, saying, "Hey, you know, this is too busy right now." You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I'm not ready for this, or I'm not built for this. However, you know, they see it, but it's the individual. You know,
And I totally agree. It's how that person is dealing with that situation. By no means are you wanting them to block the other parent out or be disrespectful to the other parent. But if you see them handling it where they're trying to have respectful guidelines, then you're going to support them and be there for them. But when you start feeling like, oh wow, they playing me for a sucker or something. Wait a minute, dude, is I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You know, it'd be like, I don't know. So
it's all about that maturity level, though, too, Donna. You know, everybody doesn't have that maturity, and people deal with things in all kinds of different situations, and they don't know exactly how to deal with certain things. So you have to have that conversation, like we've been talking about with the constant and stuff, to really see where they at. Because some people, you know, this their first kid, they dealing with this person, and this person is all over the planet. Because some people say, "I don't want to be with you," and it's a bald-faced lie. They do want to be with you, and so when they get the upper hand, which a lot of especially mothers feel like after they had the baby that they have the upper hand, they use that upper hand to the utmost. And some people just don't know how to deal with that. They have no tools. They have no verbal skills to use. They don't know nothing. They is new and as soft as a brand new snow. And they don't know what to do with this. And people are doing things and saying things, and they sitting back like, why are they acting like that? Because they haven't set those guidelines and those rules and regulations together before it got started, and they don't know how to do it later on.
Yeah.
So they stuck.
Yeah, I would have to agree, and that's the truth. And some don't know. Some are growing and learning, and you know, and that's what life brings about: wisdom, teachings, growing, learning, and lots of prayer. You gotta have lots of prayer, because you know sometimes you be dealing with a knucklehead. You got a child with them or children, and what can you do? Right? Got to get along. You got to find some kind of peaceable coming together to deal with each other in regards to the children.
And you can't be going and sleeping with them after you done said you're not gonna be with them and thinking the other relationship's gonna work out. Because it's gonna make a whole big mess.
I was getting ready to wrap it up, but you know, it brought out another point, you know. But you know what? That is the truth. People be still trying to dip. They be trying to dip and dab with the baby mama or the baby daddy or the ex, and they got this new thing going on. And you need to stop that, grown folks. That don't work. The only thing that's gonna do is complicate the situation and cause somebody to get hurt. And it goes beyond feelings sometimes. It can get deep. Stop playing with people's emotions. You gotta close one door first before you open the next. And karma is a mother, because one day you won't be loving somebody greater than every pair of stanky drawers you got. And somebody gonna get back at you doing some stuff to hurt your little precious little heart. So you don't want to do people any kind of way. Close the door. Some say, well, you know, that's my baby mama or that's my baby daddy. I can get it anytime I want to. Shit, only thing I gotta do, man. And he, you know, she or he better than who I'm with, but I love who I'm with. But I got to go back and get that. No, you broke up for a reason.
Let's blame it fire.
If you want, if you, what you say, Gorilla?
Let's blame it fire.
Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, fire. Yeah. Oh, the situation was fire?
And you playing with fire.
Don't play with
Oh,
fire.
don't play
Mhm.
with
Playing with
fire.
fire, right?
I got you, my
Mhm.
brother. Don't play with.
Mhm.
You know what? That's right, because you know what? You'll get burnt, right? It
Mhm.
will
Right,
burn
right.
your ass to toasters. You will be burnt, okay? 3rd degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't play with it. You have to find a way to close that door before stepping into the next. And I just want to thank you guys. We've had some great topics today, and I can go on and on and on. This is what I do, grown folk topic and conversation. It just, man. And when I have a great panel like I have today, and my viewing audience out there that's watching and giving me all these comments and stuff that I'm gonna review after this, because I can't see them right now, y'all, because I got this. Okay, I know y'all watching. Tell a friend, share, subscribe. And on that note, we will see you next Sunday on the Donna Smith Show, Grown Folk Talk, which is June the 13th. I believe that's right before, when is Father's Day? Father's Day is the
The
20th.
next weekend, yeah. It's after Juneteenth. Juneteenth is on the 19th this year. It's a Friday. And so Father's Day, I think, is the 21st.
Oh,
Mhm.
our Daddy's Day. Well, anyway, I'm going to see y'all next Sunday. We're going to be here. And if it's anything that you would like to run by me, that you would like to discuss, you can always email me, DGRIER12000@yahoo.com. I take emails. I do inquiring minds want to know topics where we talk about something that one of you have shared and don't want everybody to know it was you. Okay, so I know how to make that work. And I'm on Facebook under Donna Smith. I'm on Twitter under Miss Lady D111, and also on YouTube under Donna Smith, aka Lady D. So on that note, be grown or be gone. And I'm gonna